we're going to write mixed numbers as improper fractions. Now remember, you're going to take notes because you're going to make a selfie with your notes on this page that you just clicked on, okay? All right, so we're going to change mixed numbers to improper fractions. Now these are all mixed numbers. They're mixed numbers because it's a mix of a whole number and a fraction. These are called mixed numbers because you've got wholes that are not cut and you've got pieces or slices that are cut. And we're going to make them into improper fractions. Improper fractions are all slices. We're going to change them with wholes to all slices. So let's look at 1 3/4. Now, first of all, I'm going to draw out 1 3/4. Let me pull out 1, and I'm going to do 3/4. So first of all, I'm going to color. Let's see what we got here. Paintbrush, there we go. And I'm going to color a hole. There's my 1. All right, you got a hole. And then you've got 3/4. Now, when I go to do 3/4, I first have to cut it into fourths. And now I'm going to shade in 3 of those fourths. So there's 1, 2, and 3. So you've got 3 slices and a hole. That's why it's a mixed number. You got a hole with slices. But what we're going to do is when you change them to improper fractions, that means they're all going to be slices. So we're going to look at all of them as slices. We're going to cut up that hole. So come back here. What do we cut the hole into? The denominator says to cut it into fourths because these guys are in fourths. So these guys are in fourths. Let's just make that bigger. So I'm going to cut these guys into fourths. Well, let's cut that into fourths. All right, well, let's look. I just cut the hole into fourths. That hole became fourths. That hole became fourths. Then how many do you have over here? I have 1, 2, 3. Well, Miss Cassie, it's all 4. No, he's not there. There's no orange there. You cannot count him. So I've got 1, 2, 3. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 fourths, because those are cut into fourths, 4 fourths. And then here I have 3 fourths. All right, so I have 4 fourths plus 3 fourths gives me 4 fourths plus 3 fourths gives me 7 fourths. So 1 3/4 gives me 7 fourths. Now, so that whole became 4 fourths plus the 3/4 gives me 7 fourths. Now, you can also do a thing called MAD, M-A-D. Multiply, add over the denominator. Watch. You can say multiply. You're going to multiply the 4 times the 1 because the 4 times the 1 gives you 4 because that whole times 4 gives me that 4 right there. 1 times 4 is 4. Then, once I multiply 1 times 4, I'm going to add the numerator because 4 plus 3 is 7. 4 times 1 plus 3 is 7 over the denominator of 4. 7 fourths. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 3 is 7 over the denominator of fourths. Now, you can also notice it looks like a triangle. I start 4, go to the 1, 4 times 1 is 4, plus the 3 over the denominator gives me 4. It becomes a triangle, 7 fourths. So that is your improper fraction. You've changed the mixed number to an improper fraction, 7 fourths. Let's look at the next one, 2 1/3. All right, so ready? I'm going to pull out 2, 1, 2, and then I have to have 1 for the 1/3. All right, so let me get my colors real quick. Okay, paintbrush and there. All right, so I got to color 2 holes, 1, 2, and then 1/3. All right, so I got to cut into thirds. Oh, I didn't change that color. Thirds, okay? And then I'm going to shade in one of those thirds. All right, so I've got 2 now and 1/3. 2 and 1/3. All right, so let's do it. 2 and a third. I'm going to cut each of these holes into what? Thirds. I'm going to cut it into thirds. There's a third, and there's a third. All right. Well, how many thirds do you have here? 1, 2, 3. I have 3 thirds. How many thirds do you have here? 1, 2, 3. 3 thirds. Well, wait a minute. What's 3 thirds plus another 3? That gives you 6. Well, look over here. What do I do to get 6? I say 3 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. That gives me the 6. Plus, how many do I have here? 1/3. Plus the 1/3. So 3 plus 3, or 3 times 2, plus the 1, 6 plus 1 gives me 7 thirds. 3 thirds plus 3 thirds plus a third, because I've got 2 3/3. See the 2? 1, 2. So 2 and a third is the same, is equivalent to 7 thirds. 3 and 1/4 is equivalent to 7/4. Let's do the last one. 3 and 2/5. All right, here we go. I'm going to pull out 3. Now, some of you already know what it is. I really don't have to do it. All right? 3 and 2/5. What am I going to do here? I'm going to multiply, add over the denominator. MAD. Multiply, add over the denominator. What am I going to multiply? 3 times 5 is 15. Plus my 2 gives me 17 over the denominator, which is fifths. And if I wanted to check it, 3 and 2/5, 1, 2, 3, and 2/5. Ooh, that's going to be a pain in the tush. There's my fifths. All right, and I can shade all of these in. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, and 2/5. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and do it. What am I going to cut these 30s in? To fifths. Boom. Ooh, fifths are hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 gives me 15. 3 times 5 is 15. Plus the 2 I have here gives me 17/5. And that is how you change a mixed number to an improper fraction. All right, copy it and make a selfie.